Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Amin, sir.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, sir.
Over to you, Amin, sir, till Rifat sir joins, inshallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Okay, mashallah. And Sabir Ahmed, everybody who's involved are putting in. We really appreciate all the good efforts that are going on right now. The main thing being that, we want the students to be inspired. Yeah, alhamdulillah. So it's great to have such eminent personalities coming in and speaking. And inshallah, we'll have it in a structured way the way we've been doing. So it's just once a week, which is a format we are following right now. So once a week, every Sunday, inshallah, let's plan to invite somebody inspiring so that our students can benefit from them and this gives our students the exposure to look beyond what they already know. So this is a great opportunity for the students to basically, this is like a spark. So it's not a big fire as such, it's just a spark. So what we are trying to do over here is that the students should take some idea from here and go ahead and develop it. So, we'd like all our students to not limit your horizon only to the particular session that you're listening to. We'd like you to take this as just a thread. So you should hold on to the thread and then you should be able to climb the rope. So inshallah, it's just the beginning. So whatever you're seeing, mashallah, we had speakers from different fields. So we'd like each one of you to please, take some points from here. So there should be some takeaway that should be, inshallah, important thing for you. So inshallah, so you take some takeaways from here and inshallah try and do your own research. Don't limit yourself to anything. Go ahead and do, because today you have technology on your fingertips. You can go and Google out any information that you want. You can go and look at YouTube videos about any concepts that you are inquisitive about. So this creativity and inquisitiveness, you have to have that as part of you, inshallah. Because learning is a continuous process. It's a process from the cradle to the grave. Yeah. So inshallah, we all need to know that we have to learn. We'll never become ultimate experts. We need to keep continuing to improve ourselves. That's why even the highest of experts, the higher they go, the more humble they become. So that is some important takeaways that we have to see. So it's only those who have that they say empty pots make maximum noise. So those pots that are full, if you
I
knock
think
on
has
it,
joined.
mashallah, very good. Inshallah. So let's proceed with the program, inshallah.
Abdul sir.
Thank you, Amin, sir. Jazakallah khair. Rifat sir, welcome to the session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you
How are
for
you?
inviting me today.
How are you, Rifat sir?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, sir. How are you? How about you?
Alhamdulillah, fine, sir. Let me introduce to the session. We have 9th to 12th standard students, boys with us. And we have Sabir Ahmed with us, who is taking care of the English side for the school, Sana Model School. And we also have Nurul Amin sir, the founder and correspondent of Sana Model School. And he was talking for now at the moment. And I would like to introduce Nurul Amin sir. Amin sir, over to you.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Rifat. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. It's an honor that you have joined us and to speak to our students and to inspire them. We've seen all your developments, mashallah. We're very proud of your achievements and and your association with everyone, mashallah. We even were noticing the award that we had received from the late Anikar Shafiq Saab, in Lahore.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
it's,
Yeah.
mashallah, even that was your whole team was there, so we got a chance to see you earlier, and we are very happy to have you with us in this program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mashallah,
And
we'd
Amin
like
sir, in such a young age, mashallah, so much of great achievements.
achievements. Absolutely, it's a great pride for the entire community to have you and your efforts. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Definitely all credits to Almighty.
Alhamdulillah. Very good, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Abdul Rahman sir, we can take it forward.
Yes,
All right, sir. So we'll start with the welcome speech. Mujahid,
Yes, teacher.
yeah, please start this welcome speech.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I take great pleasure in welcoming you all to this great session with Mr. Rifat Shahrukh, young Indian scientist. I, Mujahid, on behalf of Sana Model School, welcome an inspiring personality for today's session. It is a great honor for me to welcome Mr. Rifat Shahrukh, who aims to redefine the performance of new technology in space. We extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Rifat Shahrukh, an youngster who invented the world's smallest satellite, Kalamsat. The 4 centimeter cubic satellite weighed only 64 grams. The satellite was launched by NASA at Valak Flight Facility, Virginia, on June 22, 2017. He is a chief technology officer and led scientist in Space Kids India. He has served as lead scientist for 3 Cube and 12 balloon satellites. Extensively worked on nanosatellites OBC, electronics and communication, storage and sensor systems. Designed and developed space printing system, a nano printer which helps to print documents and pictures in space. He has won national award in India Science Congress for designing a nanospace telescope and a radiation protection system. Mr. Rifat has received diploma from Russian Ministry of Industry and Trade for contribution towards aerospace research in March 2017 event. He aims at making space accessible by common man and enabling student community to do space research. I once again welcome you, sir, and wish you a wonderful time with us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mujahid. Rifat, so over to you. We can have a few minutes from your side, intro, and then we will go ahead with the questions, inshallah.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It is, it feels really happy to be here today. The lockdown is going on. And everybody, all of us are, we got stuck inside home. You all may be missing your friends, coming to school, enjoying the school days. Don't worry, inshallah, soon everything will get normal. We will be back to our normal life soon, hopefully. Please pray to the God and pray that, dua for the entire world because a lot of things are happening. Actually, it feels really great to be here because today I'm not going to talk, that much serious stuff because, we have a lot of young minds here. So I'm just going to share, some of my journey I had when I was, I was like when, just like I was like in your age, like what all I did. So I'm just going to share some fun things with you guys, and then we will, get into the QA session. As like like in the introduction, they said like we built the world's lightest satellite Kalamsat. It just weighs 64 grams. We launched it from NASA. Then recently we have launched Kalamsat B2. It is a 1 kg satellite. We launched that from ISRO. Right now it is still in orbit. So apart from that, we have worked on more than 17 satellite. We worked on like 10 different industrial projects. A lot of things happened. But all these things, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like we didn't done in just 1 year or something. So I'll just share some of the incidents, like how I got started. So my initial inspiration for the space industry, I got it from a failure. back, like I was just around like 7 or 8 years old. I was watching, you know, I was watching a live launch of GSLV Mark One. Okay, so in GSLV Mark One, they were launching INSAT 4C. That was a satellite ISRO built that time. GSAT was a very new rocket that time. The GSLV was very new rocket that time. So me and my dad was watching. After like 30 seconds after the launch, the rocket got exploded. It was a failure. So that is the moment I asked my dad, like, why this rocket got failed. So I was like, how can I do this better? All the stuff I was asking him. So that is the moment, he told that you have to go and build your own rocket, if you want to do something. If you want to fix a problem, then go fix it instead of just talking about it. So at that young age itself, that word impacted me a lot. So from that time itself, I was like, I should get into the space industry sometime. So I had to do this stuff, all this thing. Then in seventh standard, I got started with building all the science stuff. I was participating in science exhibition and all. Uh, it is in it is in like 2016. Yeah, 2016. Before building the satellite itself, I got like uh, two national awards for building a nano satellites radiation protection system. So after that only we have started, from 2015 we have started building the satellites. So from 2015 to 2020, it's been a very long journey. It's a lot has happened. So I'm just going to share a quick video with you guys, which you can see. The video contains all the major launch events we had, all the major stuffs happened in our journey. So I'm just going to share that video with you guys quickly.
Kalam Sat. Kalam Sat. Kalam Sat.
Kalamsat E2 in orbit.
Kalam Sat launch.
It is the highlight of this mission is for this mission for PS4 experimental platform, the satellite built by the Space Kids of India, which is the startup by students headed by Madam Srimati Kesan, is really built this particular satellite, Kalamsat, and they are the first customers. And let me compliment and congratulate the
opportunity that ISRO has opened to us, I think is phenomenal because it is so much of money to build a rocket, and to give one segment to student research is amazing. And I should say hats off to Dr. Shirin and to the entire whole ISRO who actually handholded us, and who've taken us through this journey of building this satellite. I look at this as a stepping stone for a victory for the entire aerospace community to be really feeling left out.
So actually, you may be you're seeing my screen. This wallpaper, I'm having this wallpaper, right? This wallpaper is actually captured from one of our satellites. So that is really cool. That is one of the credits, for having your own satellite in the space. So you might have seen the video. That is a small journey we had from,
Amazing journey, Rifat sir. MashaAllah.
mashallah. Thank you, Ji, Jazakallah. So we were the first ambassador for NASA in India. The organization started in 2012, and then we were the first ambassador for Russian space camps as well. We have trained like more than 20,000 students. We have met like more than 2 lakh students in the past. It all sums up at the end of the day, developing something new and making our lives a better one. So right now, I was having a different topic in mind, to talk today. But I also want to, talk about a few things today that, because of the recent news that we are getting that, one of my friend tested positive for the COVID-19, and recently, just now, everywhere the breaking news is coming that some famous actor suicided and everything. We all have been, going through a lot in this lockdown. So I just want to, tell some of the struggles I went through, so that may give you a little bit of motivation in this lockdown period for you guys. So there are two incidents or accidents in my life which was like that has a complete effect on my life till today. One is when I was in 5th standard. I was around 9 years old. So that time, my dad was actually a scientist. He was a electronics and communication professor. So I always thought like, becoming a scientist. I always thought becoming a scientist would be easy for me because my dad would be there to guide and help me. So it was when I was in fifth standard. I think it is June month of the school. Just it was school was just reopened. New teachers are coming. So this usual stuff happens, right? Someone is trying to present. Syed Mubin is presenting. It's showing.
Sorry about that, sir. You can continue.
Yeah. Okay. It was this usual stuff happens, right? Teachers will come. They will ask you, what is your name? What is your aim? So that was happening. So my teacher came and asked me that what you want to become. I told scientist. And then she asked another question that how we are going to become. That is one of the most important question we always fail to ask anybody. We ask someone, they will give an answer, and then we will just stop. But she didn't stop there. She asked me like how we are going to become a scientist. So I told her that since my dad was already a scientist, so I just frankly told her, my dad is he himself is already a scientist, so he will help me to become one. So she was like, okay, that may happen. She was like that then the class continued. My school, till fifth standard I studied in government school only. So my school is just 100 meters away from my home. So every afternoon for lunch I will go back to my home, have lunch, and get back to school again. This is how it happens. So that afternoon also, I came back to my home for lunch, but I didn't found my mom or dad or anyone in my home. uh, I just found one of my auntie there. I asked, where everyone went, what is happening. So she's like, nothing, you just have your lunch, don't go to school today afternoon, just be at school itself. So she was telling like that. I asked why. So she's like, no, don't ask anything, you just wait for some time. So I had lunch and I was waiting. Then only I figured out my dad passed away that afternoon. So they were at hospital. They took him to hospital. He had a heart attack, it seems. So he passed away. So this is right after the, just 2 hours before I was telling in my school that I'll become a scientist because my dad is there, but my dad wasn't there. My dad is no more. So that was one of the hardest part of my life. But mashallah, when you want to become something and you really pray to the God, He will always give you a better solution. What I will, okay, I will share another incident before getting to the point. Then I was in 12th standard. I got this national award. People always see just what you have achieved, but they'll never most of the time see what you have went through. So again, this thing happened. So I actually discontinued from 12th for 1 year. Many people don't know that. Many people think that I just got 750 marks and they think that you don't need to study, you can become a great person. It's not like that. It is a very wrong approach, just ignoring the studies and just taking it everything as fun. I used to score like 95 percentage, 98 percentages. But then what happened is I got this national award and everything, but there was a lot of uh, problems going on from family. So I got into clinical depression. I hope depression. You guys know what is depression is. So I went into the depression. So I wasn't able to write my public board exams that year. So that was 12th standard, important part of my life. So that year my doctor told me you cannot write public exams. So I have to discontinue from my research, my school and everything. Next year I continued. Mashallah, somehow I wasn't able to perform as well as I used to do, but somehow, mashallah, I got like 62.5 percentage. I passed the board exams. But when something goes wrong, God will, Almighty will always bless you with something even better. So in during that period only, I came up with this Kalam Sat idea. So after my dad passed away only, that I started taking more responsibilities, and those responsibilities are the something which helped me to be here. So this COVID-19 is also going to be like that only. We are just going through some bad times, but Almighty, He knows to give the right things at the right time, in the right moment. He gives you the best thing at the best time, at the best moment, in a best possible way. So we just have to wait for that, because I wanted to launch satellite when I was in 7th standard. It took me around like 6 years to achieve that. So whenever we want to do something, we have to have a lot of patience as well. So why I'm suddenly sharing this message is right now every day some news is coming, every day some problems are happening. Our students like you guys, you used to go to school normally. You may be missing your friends, you may be missing a lot. There are a lot of psychological need for the student community right now. So I just wanted to share this news with you guys, because whatever the worst happens, whatever the problems right now happening in the world, just don't worry about it. Just don't think too much about it. Just pray, just hope for the best. Because for me, it is always it is always me some ups and downs. So I hope this COVID-19 will also get over very soon, and we will be back with a very big bang very soon. So I just wanted to share this news. I didn't had this in mind when I was yesterday thinking about this webinar, but today there were a lot of messages and everything was coming. So I thought it is really a need of the hour to share this with you guys. So now we will go ahead with the question and answer session. Sar has some questions to be asked. Now we will go with that.
Thank you, Rifat sir. Alhamdulillah. This is really important for this age and this world, Rifat sir, because this world, unlike the previous generations, we are all going through some kind of mental issues.
Yeah,
Every person.
yeah.
So it's very important. So let me come to the first question, Rifat sir.
Yes, sir.
How did you get the idea of creating a smallest satellite?
Yes, sir. Actually, it is really a funny answer. The thing is, like, first we built a 1 kg satellite. We named that as SkySat. After building that SkySat, we were looking for launch providers, because when you build satellite, you need to launch it, right? You just can't keep it on the ground. There is no use. You should launch the satellite into space. For that, you need rocket. So then only it is just like Ola. Rockets are just like Ola. You can go and book the rockets. That is how it works. So we were talking to different rocket providers. So we were asking how much it costs to send a 1 kg satellite into space. And that is the moment we realized it will cost you around 1.2 to 1.7 crores to launch 1 kg of payload into space. For just 1 kg, this is without tax and everything. For just 1 kg, it will cost you easily 2 crore rupees to send the satellite in space. So we really got sad that that is a huge amount. We cannot afford that. Student community cannot afford that. So we thought like we should do something about it. So we got really sad that we wanted to divert our mind. We wanted to divert our mind. So we asked our ma'am, Dr. Srimati Kesan. She is the founder of Space Kids India organization, and she's like my non-biological mother as well. So we asked her like. Make gulab jamun for us. It will be a change that we can divert our mind, and then we will think about the solution. So she went and prepared gulab jamun for us. Then my entire team was eating gulab jamun. So that is the time me and my friend, there is a lead engineer his name is Kashif. So me and my friend came up with the idea that we were looking at the gulab jamun, thinking something. So ma'am was asking what you guys are thinking. So that is the moment we thought, why don't we build a satellite that is as small and light as a gulab jamun? See, gulab jamun is very small, very lightweight. Everybody loves gulab jamun. So we thought we will build a gulab jamun size satellite. In fact, there is a whole book about us called From Gulab Jamun to the Stars. It is available in Amazon. You can get it and read it. It covers entire journey about the Kalamsat project and some other projects as well. So this is how we came up with the idea of the Kalamsat. Here, what we need to see is the perspective that matters. Like you told, in this current modern world, students are having access to anything at the very young age itself. So it is very important to look at the things in a good perspective, because if you are looking at good perspective, you can get something good out from even something very bad. And this good perspective can be taught to the students only from the parents and the teachers. So parents really have to, from the young age itself, they have to start tuning their kids to, always look at the things in a good perspective.
MashaAllah. Very good, Rifat sir. It's something nice to know how much it costs to send a satellite. It's very new for us.
Yes,
So,
it's really costly.
and that's the reason you went for the smallest to make it
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah. Because the once the satellite gets lighter, it directly impacts the cost, right? So that is the main motivation behind building the lightest satellite, because we could save a lot of money.
Okay, sir. Can you tell us about the mystery of 64 GM weight of satellite?
Yes, sir. The 64 gram is actually that is called volumetric size of the satellite. Give me 1 second, sir. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, okay. Boys, hope you are enjoying the session. MashaAllah, today we have touch 60, Alhamdulillah. So let's maintain this for the future sessions too.
Students, be ready with your questions too. So when we ask you the questions, so be ready.
Yes, boys.
I
Everyone.
hope you guys are able to see.
Yes.
Just some, small noise from my home.
Okay.
So I just feel there is a
No problem.
Yes, sir. So the thing is, it is called volumetric size of the satellite. The thing is, there is a standard that if it is a 10 into 10 centimeter satellite, then the weight should be 1 kg. There is some standard like that. So it was a limit given by NASA. So we thought we will build something like under 100 grams or under 50 grams. So 64 grams, that exact weight limit was given by NASA. You cannot exceed that, or you cannot, even go below that. You have to be exactly 64 grams with a resolution of plus or minus 2 grams. So that was the whole reason.
Okay, sir. And the next question is, have you met Abdul Kalam, sir?
Yes, sir. Actually, I didn't meet him personally. He was coming to a event in my hometown, so I met him there. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any chance to interact with him that day. Actually, I was going behind the stage and asking the securities to allow me that, because that time itself I got this national award and all. So I was asking them, because I came with this project. I tried to get all the, I tried my best to meet him, but unfortunately I wasn't able to meet him. But during this 2015 balloon satellite launch, which was our first balloon satellite launch, we actually invited him for the launch. But unfortunately, the day we invited him, he passed away. We were mailing that afternoon, and evening we were getting the news. So that is why we named all our major satellites: first orbital satellite, first suborbital satellite, first balloon satellite. All these three major missions were named after Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, sir.
Sir, and if you are given a choice, choose between Abdul Kalam, sir, and your dad as a mentor and a role model, whom would you choose?
Actually, it is a difficult question, but I can answer it. I will not choose anyone as my role model. The thing is, like, practically, a role model is impossible, because having someone as role model is literally following him. But here, everybody is unique. God has, made everyone unique. So we cannot have anyone as a role model. That is my kind of approach. I don't want to become a second Newton or second Einstein or anybody. I want to become the first Rifat Shah. So that is the goal. But I have a lot of inspirations and mentors. So I will choose I will not choose particularly one person. So what I would do is, I will have 5 or 6 persons. I will take the best from each of them. I will mix it. Then I will add my own personality into it to come up with one unique formula which could work for me. So if you take that, my big inspirations are my dad, because I spent my days with him. I know him a lot better. Then Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, sir, is just more than inspiration. We can't add him to list of others, because he is someone who is who we feel him like our family. We never felt him like a third person, or like he's like when he passed away, we all felt like someone from our own family. So he is some kind of mentor, more than just mentor. He is someone who really motivates me. But apart from that, my major inspirations, from the common people are my mom, my dad, and Srimati Kesanna. Apart from that, from famous personalities, my inspirations are Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. These two guys are also one of my biggest inspirations.
MashaAllah. Awesome answer, Rifat sir. And now next is what and how the decision was made to name the satellite as KalamSat.
Yes, sir. Like I told before that during our first mission, we invited him, but he wasn't able to come since he passed away. So we always thought whenever we are going to do our major mission, we always had in mind we should name it on behalf of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So for our first balloon satellite, we named that NSLV Kalam 1. Then our first suborbital satellite, we named the satellite KalamSat. And in our first orbital flight, we named our satellite KalamSat V2.
Okay, sir. And what is your next mission?
Our next mission is we have like 3 or 4 missions upcoming, sir. So there are some 2 highly confidential missions we are working on, inshallah, which we will be revealing by end of this year. And we already gave press release about the Vikram Sat mission, which was supposed to be launched by this time, which got postponed due to all this lockdown and all the stuff. So Vikram Sat is because this is the 100th birth anniversary of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai is mentor of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Vikram Sarabhai is the oldest person in the space industry. He is father of Indian space exploration. So since it is his 100th birth anniversary, we are naming the satellite by for honoring Vikram Sarabhai.
Thank you, Rifat sir. From my side, it's all over. Now I will leave it to the students. Sabira Miss will take over.
Sure, sir. I think we already have a lot of questions in the comment section.
Thank you so much, sir. So let us start with the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Students, if you have any questions, you can unmute your mic.
Teacher,
Yes.
teacher, I have a question.
Yeah, Renos.
Sir, you have the interest of launching a satellite, but how did you approach for it? Like, where did you go? Where did you start your career?
This is actually a great and it is a matured question because many people find it very I receive a lot of messages every day that they want to build a satellite. I start this. This is a very hard career option because building a satellite alone is not at all possible because it is a very costly process. Even for just building 64-gram satellite, it costed us around 5 to 6 lakhs. Our KalamSat V2 costed us around like 12.5 lakhs. Our yearly operational costs are just around like more than 30 to 40 lakhs for all the research and purposes. But for our future missions, this cost may go up to like 2 to 3 crores, even for doing with all the nano technology and everything. So this is a very hard industry to be. So what you have to do is you have to find the right team. You can never, try to be on your own separately and do. Otherwise, it will. I receive a lot of messages about this. Many people ask me, "Can I become famous if I build a satellite?" If someone's goal is to become famous by building the satellite, then that satellite industry is not for you. You will automatically get famous when you're doing something really out of your passion, really something from your heart. But when you need to have a lot of perseverance. So what I would do is that you need to form a team because apart from money or anything, you need a great team to build a satellite. So I was working in Bigatan as a science journalist. I was having the idea of building satellites sometime in the future. Then I met Dr. Srimati Kesan. That's the thought I thought it would be really great if I joined with them. So because as a team we can achieve a lot. So I joined Space Kids India. Then we formed a beautiful team. And from there, it was like 3 to 4 year journey. And apart from that, this is operational level answer. From technical answer, you're asking like how I can, learn to build satellites, how I can start to work with satellites and everything. You need lot of learning as well. You really need to have an in-depth learning experience for getting into space technology. Actually, we are coming up with a junior diploma program for that. I will be announcing details about that program by end of this webinar. Next question.
Thank you, sir. Can we have another question?
May I ask, teacher?
Yes, Hanif.
There is also other questions in the chat section. If you can just have a look and throw the questions, then that would be also great.
Yeah, let the students ask the questions first, and then we'll go on to the chat box.
Sure.
Yes, Hanif, we can go ahead with the
Right.
question.
So I have two questions. The first is, what's your opinion on Mars colonization, which both NASA and SpaceX have set their sights on? And the second question is, for those of us who are interested in astronomy and astrophysics, just like you, for those of us who are interested from a young age, what would be your advice and recommendations for us?
Good question. A good question. Mars colonization is, right now Elon Musk is really serious about it. I really hope that he will be able to achieve that. It is good, but I'm not a big fan of Mars colonization. My thought is always, we cannot transport the whole humanity from Earth to Mars, right? That is naturally impossible. But everyone have to live, right? It is not, the world is not just for the rich and affluent. Everyone has to live, right? So Mars colonization will happen, but mostly this Mars colonization and the moon colonization is to bring resources from those planets back to Earth. So we are running out of resources, we are running out of natural resources, or are running out. So the plan is going there, getting the resources from there, and getting back to Earth. But I'm not a very big fan of it, because we have a lot to solve on the Earth right now. Space, we have a lot, we can do a lot in the lower Earth orbit, and in the space. Instead of going to other planets, we can do a lot in the space itself. So our goal is, making space accessible by common man and making space useful for common people. So our goal is to make Earth better by doing space exploration. That is what my personal goal is. And your second question is what? Like, what is the question?
What would be your recommendation and advice for young students like me?
Yeah. What would be my first advice is, before getting into any industry, you have to study and understand what that industry is all about. Okay, astronomy is different, astrophysics is different, space science is different, aerospace is different, interplanetary studies are different. In aerospace, we have satellites, rockets. In satellites, we have electronics and communication. This is a huge sub branch. You have to choose one and concentrate on it. So what? Because I'm not an astronomy or astrophysics guy. I am a spacecraft manufacturing and satellite system designing guy. I'm mostly into space sciences. So what will happen is, some astronomer or astrophysics will come and ask us that we want to research about this planet. I will ask the requirement. I will build a spacecraft for them. Then they will take that spacecraft and go to a rocket manufacturer and launch that spacecraft. And then I control that spacecraft, land it on that planet. I'll collect all the data and give that to those astrophysics and astronomers. They will do the research and find whether what are the resources out there available and everything. So this is a complex process of, lot of people will be involving. So you have to do your research and find out what are all the positions, what are all the departments available, and you have to find which one you are most interested in and which one will suit you, which one is most practical, and then go deeper and deeper into it. So this would be my first recommendation. Understand what are the options out there and choose which one suits you.
Thank you, Mr. Rifat. Any questions students want to ask directly? Or else we'll read the questions.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, Renos.
You said you inspire Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a firm belief that we are in a virtual world. This is a virtual simulation. Do you believe it?
Those are actually some memes that he posts on Twitter. Elon Musk is, he's very active in Twitter. He just makes a lot of memes, and he likes to hang out and he likes to look cool. So those are those tweets. Though I really think those are just funny tweets and nothing to consider seriously. I don't believe in that, because our religious statements and Quranic statements are more clear. Even uh, I don't want to be, like controversial or anything. Simply, I just to make things simple that we are not living in some simulation or something.
Thank you, Mr. Rifat. All right. So one of the questions posted in the chat box is, what kind of societal pressure you faced during your journey?
Actually, yesterday night I was having the discussion with my junior team members, because we have a lot of junior team members. So yesterday night I was having this discussion with them. One of the biggest problem the young innovators community face is ego from the older peoples. You'll be always like pressurized. You'll be always, people never take you serious. They will always troll you. You'll be faced bullying. Bullying was one of the biggest problem I always faced from my school days. Right from my school days to secondary, to higher secondary, I always bullied by other students, because I'll be always talking about science. I'll be always doing different stuff. And then again also, when again, when also, like, when I got into the scientific industry, when you're meeting older people, older professors, when you're going and asking them doubts, you'll be bullied, you'll be trolled. There will be a lot of social pressure happening, and this is one of the biggest problem. And then once you start to achieve something, people will start thinking that you're really having a very beautiful life, you are living like anything. They will start you feel like you are some Ambani or something, or scientists are very rich, some kind of thing. So people will start coming and talking to you like you are some kind of different person. But it is not like that. We scientists are also normal humans. We even go through a lot of problems, and scientists is one of the very mm, we face a lot of struggles. So these are some kind of pressure we face. It is always some will be there will be always some pressure from I didn't face any pressure from my family side, because they, mashallah, by God's grace, they really understood what I'm doing and they really supported me. But other people's, from other people's, I really faced a lot of issues, because when I discontinued from my 12th standard, lot of my relatives, they were commenting me that I'm going to become useless in my life. I don't even have dad, so it is my responsibility to take care of the family, and I'm being irresponsible discontinuing out of 12th standard. They don't understand what you are going through. They are like, whatever you do, whatever happen, you just have to deliver the result. So they'll be talking from that perspective. But it is not like that. We don't need to care about them. We can just handle our own life problems, and we can try to live a happy life. At the end of the day, it is all about, for me, my personal goal is always living happily by the way the God has shown. That would be the ultimate way. In the middle, whatever we are doing right now is just a way to survive the life, because we are going to die. In this period, we have to do something. Instead of doing normal thing, why don't we do something extraordinary and make something, do something good for this world? So that is the whole goal. So we don't need to care about others.
All right. So there's another question related to how to join. So can you just tell me something about your Space Kids India? Is it an organization where the students can enroll themselves, or can just highlight something about it?
Yeah, ma'am. Space Kids India is actually a STEM organization, science, technology, and engineering mathematics organization. We work predominantly in aerospace sector. We manufacture satellites. We manufacture now we are into rocket development. We work on a lot of electronic solutions as well. Uh, Electronic solutions as well. People, we every year we add 2 or 3 people to our team. To our team, so that is what we do in Space Kids India. But right now, since many students are requesting to join our Space Kids India organization, since many want to learn from us, we opened a separate educational wing under our organization. This is called Skylabs, Skilabz. So in this, we are off right now. We are offering courses to the students to learn about the electronics, computer science in a very in-depth way, so they can start building satellites and rockets in the future. So we are actually planning it to make it like a 3-year training program, where 1 year we will be teaching the basics, the next year we will teach them about space and satellites, and the next year we will involve them in the live projects. So right now, this is the first year of the initiative. We have launched a junior diploma program. So in the junior diploma program, we are giving 4 certificates. This is a 1-year program. Because since many students have requested, this is the first year we have started it. Right now, the enrollment process is going on. I'll just drop the website link in the comment section, so students can go and see it. We are also giving a lot of kits, because people, students really like to, do stuffs that we are doing, right? Like learn from the perspective of a scientist. So if you want to become a scientist, then the good way is to learn like a scientist and learn from a scientist. So that would be the right option. So we are trying to transfer our knowledge, because it is our duty to teach others, like what we have, what knowledge we have. So we are coming up with that program. In that program, students can join. I will separately tell about that. I think already we are at 4:51. I think we are going to wrap up the webinar, I guess. So let me finish it. So in this program, students can, communicate with us. There is a form. Student can talk to us and ask their doubts. And after 1 year of training, we will be conducting competitions and assessments. And from that, we will be taking the best students into our junior team for our future projects.
Sir, you might be requiring another session to explain about those aspects, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, I think we were already discussing about that, right? Because that is education wing. That is a whole different program. So
Yeah.
I'm just giving. I
Yeah,
just
we will do it, inshallah.
we will separately do it.
Yeah.
We can proceed with the next question.
We have 2 more students to ask questions to you. Yes, Renos and Hanif, you can proceed.
Sir,
Yes.
Yes, Renos.
sir, as you said, you have to explore lots in space and bring resources to the Earth. And so, what do you think about asteroid mining? Is it better than Mars colonization, or is it?
These are the things we can only answer in the future. Right now, we have option A, B, C, everything. Only, after doing more research and getting to know that, advantages and disadvantages of each thing, we can finalize with it. But in the future, we will be needing both asteroid mining and the Mars colonization, because Mars is not resourceful. From Mars, you can do some kind of other stuff like temporary colonization and all those stuff. But all the actual resources you can only get from the asteroids, because asteroids are the one which are filled with resources.
Uh, yes, Hanif, you can ask your question.
Yeah. So my question is, how has the current situation, the COVID, the pandemic, how has the situation affected your work, and how are you handling it?
It affected us a lot, because for 3 months we don't have access to our labs. We always used to travel across the world to do more research and meet with the new people and start new projects. So it's been like, even though the lockdown started like 3 months only. Our problem started 6 months back itself due to this pandemic. So for past 6 months itself, things are really slowed down, and for past 3 months we don't have access to our laboratories and everything. But luckily, Alhamdulillah, that we can do a lot from our computer itself. So right now, everybody is in work from home. Actually, the background here is actually a virtual background, not my home. I'm just, there is a green screen backside. I'm just, talking from my home. Uh, it is really difficult, but it was really also, it was a good time that we explored lot of new things. We learned lot of new things. Even the Skylabs initiative was, became possible because of lockdown only, because we were always occupied with our typical work. We didn't had time to take care of this new activities. So this lockdown has given us a lot of new time to initiate new stuff. So we are managing it, but we really hope things will become better very soon.
Rifat sir, for a change, I would request you to ask a couple of questions from you to the boys.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd just like to ask you guys, like, how many of you guys want to work in ISRO?
Guys, you can message.
You can message. And how many of you guys want to work in a private space organization? And how many of you guys want to start your own private organization?
Boys, go ahead. Type it. Annan, Jamal.
I think they need a lot of time to decide about it.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm receiving a lot of messages. It's really awesome. I want to be in NASA. I want to SpaceX. Lot of cool stuff. Really awesome, guys. I really wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Really, we guys can do a lot in the future. Inshallah, let's hope for the best.
All right, so we have come to the end of the session. So we'll wrap it up with the word of thanks. Abdul sir. Mahi?
Yes, teacher.
Teacher, just one last question, teacher.
All right, so we have one more question from a student. Yes, Abdul.
If we want to join, whether we have to pay how much money, sir?
Those details can be found at our website itself. We are also, talking with. We are also talking with to have another separate session for this. So those details we will discuss later. But you can know the details at our website. I have dropped the link to the website in the chat section.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rifat. Yes, Mahi, you can go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks in this forum. I, Mahi, on behalf of Sana Model School and the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty Allah. On my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the guest of honor, Mr. Rifat Shahrukh, who spared time from his busiest schedule and had spent time with us. We are thankful to you for inspiring us with your profound knowledge and sharing it with us. You have enlightened our mind and have shown us a new path. I once again extend a special thanks to you for being with us today and guiding us through your knowledge, and thanks a lot to one and all, directly or indirectly involved in this program. Jazakallahu khair.
Jazakallah, Mahi. Sorry, I had lost the connection. Rifat sir, so the end of the program.
So not able to hear you.
Just before leaving, what would you like to say? A few words.
So all the best, guys. Pray to Almighty, pray to Allah, hope for the best, pray for the world. We will be soon getting out of the situation. Just don't sit idle, because I really hope you guys are really big, bright minds. I can see from the interaction itself. Go and explore new stuff, learn new stuff, do new stuff. Really make the most out of this lockdown period. I really hope that all of you guys from this Sana Mother School, will becoming a great personalities in the future. I'm just so excited about it. Inshallah, let's hope for the best.
Jazakallah, Rifat sir.
Thank you so much to you and all the management members of the Sana School for making this event a reality. It was really awesome interacting with our students. There were a lot of mature questions. It was really great questions I faced today. I really loved the session. Thank you, guys. Exactly.
Coming, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Rafat bhai, once again, thank you so much for your very valuable interaction. I'd like to also just share with you that I was part of one session of Abul Kalam sir itself. The way he used to inspire students and the way he used to take everyone and really create that impact, light up that entire spark within the students. Mashallah, I see all that with you, sir. I find you to be so wise. Your choice of words, your choice of ideas, the opinions that you have formed, all of these are really inspiring. And I'm sure that, you have a great career ahead of you. You've already achieved so much, but we'll all be enough to see your continuous achievements in the future as well. And we're all so proud to be one among you. And for you to have a continuous association with our schools and our students. So hopefully, with your guidance, inshallah, our students will be able to follow your footsteps and also reach areas where, inshallah, they can create an impact in the world to make it a better place. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And before leaving, Rifat sir, you will be our president very soon, inshallah.
Go for that, inshallah. Let's see what future holds for us and what Allah has written.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum to everyone.